Hello, so today we are talking about balancing chemical reactions. In your topic box, you need to put balance, and your goal is I can balance a chemical reaction. So why do we even have to balance? Why is this even a thing? Well, that's because the law of conservation of mass. So in a chemical reaction, mass cannot be created or destroyed. So in order to get the compounds or the reactants that we use, it has to be balanced because things can't just disappear and can't just come out of nowhere. So that is why chemical reactions have to be balanced, or why they are balanced when you do a chemical reaction. So how to balance an equation. First, I'm going to go through and read these steps, and then I'll kind of put them into practice for you so you can see how to balance a reaction. So step 1, list the elements being used under the yield sign. Step 2, count how much of each element on each side you have. Step 3, change or add coefficients until the elements have the same amount on both sides. Never change the subscripts. Again, you could go ahead and pause this video right now so you can type out the different steps, and then press play once you have them all typed out, and you can move on to the next slide. Or I will move on to the next slide. You'll still be on this notes page. So here is a practice problem to kind of explain how we balance reactions. So we have graham cracker plus marshmallow plus chocolate makes a s'more. So here in this s'more, we have 2 graham crackers, we have the chocolate, and we have the marshmallow. So in order to make one s'more, how many of each reactant do we need? Well, here we only have 1 graham cracker, but you need 2. So in order, hang on. But you need 2. So we would need to change that to 2. So in order to end with 2, you'll have to start with 2. Now this marshmallow, you only need 1 marshmallow, so we'll just start with 1 marshmallow. Here we have the chocolate. There you have the chocolate, so we only need 1 piece of chocolate, and that will make 1 s'more. So you have to have, in order to make the product you want, you have to have the same number of reactants, or in order to have the reactants you want, you have to have the same number of products. There it goes. So in a real practice problem, here you have LiBr plus O2 makes Li2O plus Br2. So step 1, list the elements being used under the yield sign. Hey, I did that for you. Okay, step 2, count how many of each element you have on each side. So this is what that looks like. First, let's look at Li. Over here, we look at Li. Well, there's only 1 Li. So I'll write a 1 on that side. If we look on this side of the reaction, Li has a subscript of 2. That means we have 2 Lis. Now Br, on this side we have 1 Br. On this side we have 2 Brs. Oxygen, on this side we have 2 oxygen. On this side we only have 1 oxygen. And we see that by the subscripts. So what you want for each element, you want it to be the same number on both sides. Well, in this case, they're not. So we're going to need to put numbers in front, put a coefficient, in order for it to be the same on each side. So first, let's start with Li. Over here we have 2, over here we only have 1. So we need to put something here to make Li equal 2. Well, what times 1 equals 2? That's 2. So if we put a 2 here, that changes Li. Now we have 2 on that side. But that also is going to change Br because it's in that compound. So 2 will affect both the Li and the Br because it's in that compound. So now we have 2 Brs. Okay, so since we've done that, well, the Brs already matched up, so that's good to go. Now let's look at oxygen. So here we have 2 oxygen. Over here we only have 1. So what can I put in front of this compound to make oxygen equal 2? Well, I could put a 2. 2 times 1 is 2, so that changes that to 2. But look, that changes Li to 4, because you'll do 2 times 2, which is 4. So let's change that. So now our BRs equal, our O's are equal, but our LIs are no longer equal. So that means we're going to have to go back and change this number again. And with balancing reactions, it's kind of just a back and forth until every element's the same on both sides. So Li has 1 right here. So we need to make that have 4. So we'll erase that 2 and put a 4. So now we have 4 Li. But that also means we have 4 BR. So we need to make BR have 4 on this side. So if we look at BR, there's 2 right here, but it needs to be 4. So what times 2 equals 4? Well, that would be a 2. And now BR is 4, and it's equal on both sides. So that would be the balanced reaction. Now, in your digital notebook, if you look at your balancing questions, there are several for you. You notice I already listed the different elements. You'll need to count on both sides, just like how you learned in the counting atoms section above. And then you'll just need to make sure it's the same on both. If you have any questions, or if you even get stuck on one, let me know and I will be happy to help.